Hello, everyone, and welcome to Career 101 podcast, presented by Afreej e-learning. I'm your host, Ahad Ali Siddiqui, and I'm so glad you're tuning in. This is a podcast where we bring the real talk and real careers, straight from the people who have been there, done that, and are still doing it. Each week, we will sit down and with accomplished professionals from all kind of fields, from tech to teaching, filmmaking to finance, to unpack their journey, challenges, wins, and all the not in the textbook stuff that actually shapes a career. Our goal to help you, the curious, ambitious, sometimes a bit lost young adults, figuring out just what's out there, but what might be right fit for you. We dive deep in the what, why, and how of different careers, the mindset it takes, and even a little bit of future gazing into what comes next in each industry. So whether you're choosing your major, switching careers, or just wondering if your passion can pay the bills, you're in the right place. Let's get to it. And speaking of passion, purpose, and unconventional path, today's guest truly embodies all three. I'm thrilled to welcome Ms. Ambreen Nadeem. Thank you so much, Ms. Ambreen Nadeem, for giving us this time, and we are so glad that could have joined us for this Career 101 first podcast.
Thank you so
Welcome,
much.
Ambreen.
Yeah, thank you so
Thank you so
much.
much. You're welcome, and I'm really excited to talk to you. A little bit of a brief introduction about Ms. Ambreen. Ms. Ambreen Nadeem is a globally recognized psychologist, market research analyst, author, keynote speaker, and social impact leader with over 20 years of multifaceted experiences across psychology, consumer insight, and thought leadership. She is currently pursuing her PhD in applied neurosciences in Switzerland, and she worked extensively with global organizations, including Euro Monitor International and Unilever. Her deep expertise lies in blending psychology and qualitative and quantitative research to generate strategic data-driven insights. Amreen is widely published author, best known for her Amazon bestseller, The Algorithm of Life, which topped categories within 24 hours of release, and that's such a big achievement. Along with that, Whisper of Hope, a collaborative ebook aimed to spread hope and mental health awareness. She is also featured as the contributor to platforms like Medium, LinkedIn, and Dawn Magazine, and hosted Psychological Talks podcast, ranked among the top 50 in the mental health category across 10 countries. Along with that, she has been honored globally to her influence, earning titles such as the 50 most influential leaders on LinkedIn in 2025, top 100 global thought leaders in 2024, the second in mental health creator in Saudi Arabia in 2023, top 25 LinkedIn voices in 2023. Along with that, top 23 rising stars of LinkedIn 2022 and top 50 most impactful people on LinkedIn in 2021. Such a pleasure to have such an accomplished, established professional with us. Her LinkedIn following of over 100,000 reflects her status as one of the platform's most impactful mental health and leadership voice. She's also a co-founder of various social initiatives, including Impact Aviators, Save Life Project, psychology talks, all aimed to empower community, advance mental health education, and foster global change. Thank you so much, Mr. Amreen, for giving us this opportunity to have a question here with you. The reason to start this podcast, Career 101, is to help the young adults who are trying to find their path in the world and trying to get a clear gaze on the future and what it holds for them. So we have divided the question here for you, and would like you to give your opportunity to say opening remark as you would like to say. Please take the floor.
Yeah, thank you so much, first of all, for inviting me here. I think you're doing a great work. And this podcast is much needed, especially it is meant for the career, meant to help people who are actually looking for some advice in the field of like when they are taking some path to find some career, right choice of career. Because nowadays there's so many, I would say, noise and so many opportunities and so many fields there. And it is very
Totally.
hard to choose what is right for people. So I think this is a very good initiative that you've taken for this podcast. And what I would just say that maybe I'll just say that one thing, especially when you or whoever is trying to choose a career, they should
Yeah.
actually choose a field which they love the most. Because if you don't love what you do, it's going to make you exhausted. It will make your life more like kind of a miserable, which you hate. Because if you don't do what you like, every day would be difficult to live. I'll give you my example because when like years ago, when I was about to take psychology as a major subject, uh, believe me, everybody in my family, in my friends, whoever knew me, they actually asked me not to take psychology because they said there is
Oh,
no
really?
opportunity, there is no career for the psychologist. They said that they are the doctors of the people who are mentally sick, and what you're gonna do after that? There is no money in that career.
Yeah.
And but this subject of psychology was very close to my heart, and I've always was intrigued by how human mind works, and I wanted to understand that why people behave the way they behave. So that was kind of my passion, and I was so confused because everybody was giving me some advice to either go for some economics or MBA or any like field which they think that they have more money in that.
Uh-huh.
But at that point in time, I'm really helpful. I'm grateful for my mom that she actually said that you should pick up the field that you like. And I just I was confused also because when everyone was saying, I said, okay, maybe what if that I really like economics or maybe I really like some management science or something. But then I at that point in time, I just had a conversation with myself and see that, okay, what actually really appeals to me, what I really like to do. And then I decided that, okay, this is the only field that I really love. Because when I like to read more about psychology, I don't feel tired. It gives me energy. So that's
Mhm.
why I chose this field. Although, like, I had to go against everyone, and nobody was happy when I actually took this decision, except my mom. But uh, but here I am. Like, this is something this is the example that when you do what you love, you you will create something meaningful, something outstanding, which nobody has ever done that before. So my advice to everyone who is listening today, that if you are on the verge or of like if you're trying to figure out that what career best for you, listen to your heart and find out that what is your passion, and then follow your passion no matter what other people say. If you're good at it, you're going to make some difference in the field.
Perfect. And as the saying goes, do what you love and you don't have to work a single day in your life. So
Absolutely.
we are so glad that your mom helped you in that. And a lot of students, a lot of young kids go through that kind of pressure and that kind of confusion, the feeling of being lost in that thought, what the future holds for me. Should I pursue what I like? And that's the reason why the Average e-learning platform is starting this Career One podcast, so that we can know from firsthand from the professionals or established professionals of particular field, so that we can have and the kids can have an idea of what the future will instill for them in the particular field. So we have created a bit of a questionnaire and we dabble around with these questions. So I have three segments in this podcast, and we're going to tap into that. So the first segment will start the bright side. What makes the field exciting, and it can cover the future scope, AI era, how it's going to impact the psychological field, the variety and possibilities. That's what we are going to tap on at the very initial stage of a podcast. So my first question to you, Ms. Ambreen, would be: when do you first realize that, which you have already, when did you first actually realize that psychology was more than just textbooks and it could also change lives?
Because it was like long ago, I would
Okay.
say. It was when I did my when I was in my college. I started studying psychology, right? And then I realized that psychology is, of course, I wanted to understand how mind works and how brain works. And the more I studied, the more I realized that it is not just because psychology can be applied anywhere. It is not just the theoretical knowledge. Because the more I
Mhm.
used to read or study about psychology, about brain, the more I could actually find it application in daily lives. Because I think this is the only field I would say psychology that you can apply anywhere, like just name it, because psychology is all about human mind, human brain, and all the time in all our lives we interact with humans, whether
Yeah,
in personal lives, in professional life. So it's like understanding that how our mind works and understanding how other mind works, it will always give you an edge. So at that point in time, I mean, when I started studying psychology as, like, in my college, then I realized at that point in time that it is not just a field. I mean, at that point in time, I also realized that I think it should be part of the curriculum in every for everyone, because as I said, that we are humans and we always interact with humans. So if you know how your mind works, it will always give you an edge. And that is the reason why I am so passionate about sharing knowledge about psychology and mental health, because when we when they know that how they deal uh, with any circumstances, any situation, they perform better. Their
yeah,
lives change. Like especially nowadays, there's so much tension, depression. People are actually feeling more depressed, and because a lot happening and it's changing very rapidly. The
yeah,
technology is advancing at this super accelerated state.
yeah,
So people are kind of very unable to have that to match the pace of the change, right? Those who are unable to match the pace, in fact everyone is like trying to be as fast as the technology is going, but it also adds up lots of frustration, depression,
true,
to not
true.
only the kids, to the adults as well, like those who are doing the business. Now the business landscape is changing.
It's
Similarly,
changing. Yeah,
those who are studying, they are feeling overwhelmed, is frustrated, because the system is kind of broken at this moment and they can't keep up with that. Teachers who are actually teaching those students, they are feeling the problem, but they are facing the challenge, because now again, like, students are getting more knowledge from all these AI and something, and they are kind of stuck in the system where they have to give the knowledge through the same old orthodox way. And this is again creating a lot of frustration among students, children, even those, as I mentioned, that, adults who are having those businesses. That's something that every landscape is actually changing very, very rapidly. So that
yes,
is
and because
one
of the
thing that, yeah, that is one thing. That's why it's very important to know about your
yeah,
mind and about other people as well.
I guess, yeah, and because of, as you have mentioned very briefly, that the speed at which technology is forming and the landscape of every field in the world is changing, I think it's safe to say that we actually need more psychologists and therapists and people who understand the human behavior in the coming 10 to 20 years. And it's a field to explore, as people used to talk about it back in the days, that there's no money in it or maybe there's no scope in it. I guess there's even more scope in the next coming 10 to 12 or 20 years. So that is, but psychology, sounds huge. The word itself carries the weight of the world on it, and it carries the responsibility of, somehow leading towards a certain direction. But I would like to ask you that what are some cool direction that it can take you, psychology itself, and beyond just becoming a therapist, where a person who has studied psychology can branch out in their career.
Yeah, that's a very good question, because psychology is a vast field. And
Yeah,
as I said, that the application is everywhere. So like I specialize in industrial psychology. So
yeah,
um, there are like, if you just broadly just say that there's like, one is the clinical side who can actually work in clinics and hospitals, they provide the therapies, and the other is kind of like an industrial side. And industrial side means like they, like I do work to understand consumer psychology, helping companies to define to design their marketing campaigns and marketing strategies. So this kind of thing, there are other fields like, again, that can branch out of psychology, is the human resource, where actually all the organizations need to understand that the mental health of their employees and how they can actually enhance the productivity of their employees, how they can maintain the culture of the company. There are there are psychologists now working in like in the field of robotic as well, because they need to know that, especially how a robot and a human can work together, right? Because now
Yeah.
all of the fields, all of these technologies kind of taking over. A lot of work has been like taken over by robots, but how humans work will help them to actually design robots in a way that can create a kind of a right ecosystem. So these kind of things. So in every field, I would say, these are things, but these two broad things, like they need to understand. The one is the clinical side, and other is kind of a more like in business side or the marketing side, where it can be applicable to not treating the mental disorder, but understanding the positive side of human psychology, like, how they can enhance the work, how they can enhance the productivity. So this kind of side. So like, as I said, that my specialization in industrial psychology. So I'm not working to give the therapies in the hospital, but I'm working with the marketing people and other organizations.
Yes, as we have mentioned in the brief introduction, that Ms. Ambreen, yes, definitely is have her expertise in industrial psychology. If I may, I've always been very excited about this terminology, criminal psychology, and then there is media psychology, then there is geopolitical psychology. So, people who are listening at the moment, yes, the branches are way vast than most of us know on surface, and there's so much a big iceberg under the tip of it. So yes, you can experience and also research about various fields and where psychology can lead you there. So thank you so much for answering that in such a profound manner. Along with that, one thing that we are all talking about for the past 3 years, especially past 2 years, is AI. And with AI taking over many jobs, people are thinking they're scared about their future. How do you think psychology stays strong and even become more important as AI is going to, and data sciences is going to take the landscape of the world, and will definitely leave a print on how human civilization is going to go forward?
That's again a very good question. AI is now taking over every industry, every field. It's kind of
Yeah.
revolutionizing. And I would just say that it's not only psychology, every field. It is like, uh, but it again goes back to what I said in the beginning, that do what you like. This is the
Yeah.
one thing that you need to figure out. Even if nowadays, like, those, the graphic designers and these kind of the content creators, or these are the jobs which I see that it is now very much taken over by AI. But those who actually really good at these things, they cannot replace them. So AI is definitely there, but those who actually know how to use AI to enhance their capability, they are going to shine. But those who think that they just replacing, for example, if I'll give the example because it's for like young students as well. For example, if you want to write an article, or you want to write an essay or something, if you give this task completely, entirely to AI, then it's okay. Like, if you're just copy pasting what AI is doing, then, and not using your brain, then you will be replaced. That is one thing. It's applicable in every field,
Any
whether you
field.
are doing, yeah, whatever field it is. But if you're using AI as an assistant to enhance your level of intelligence, then you're going to shine, you're going to stand out, whatever your field may be. But for example, if I just give you the example that if you want to write an article, if you want to write an essay, if you want to write a book, take help from AI, brainstorm with AI, create your stuff, but take help, and it's gonna help you. So those, I would just say that those who are using AI as a replacement of their intelligence, they will be the one that who will be replaced by the AI. But those who are actually taking AI as an assistant, or those who are taking AI as a kind of to enhance their own intelligence, then definitely they will be they will stand out in every field. I mean, whatever field they are. But
Yeah.
that's my
Be
point,
it
I think. Yeah.
be it arts or be it business
Whatever.
or be it
Yes.
accounts or whatever it is, if you are not using your own brain, if you're relying simply on a system that is made by somebody else, definitely you're going to fall back. And that is a very important point for the people who are actually scared of AI, because there's no need to scare. It's just a tool, and human civilization probably is going to work around it and even make it useful for themselves. But again, I'm going to hold another question towards that. Imagine data sciences get to understand this to the theory of Gestalt, the theory of Freud, all these psychological theories, understand how psychotherapy works, understand how clinical psychology works, or how to tap into criminal psychological mind, or marketing, or geopolitical psychology. Would there is a scope for that in terms of data sciences, or the psychologists of today, or maybe psychologists of from 5 years from today, should be scared that AI would be more smarter than them when it comes to psychology as a field in different
Yeah.
branches?
I mean, look, I mean, as I said, that every field, it's not only linked with psychology. You can take
Yeah.
this if you of medicine and doctors.
Mhm.
They are also facing the same thing, that that there will be some you will be going to the doctor who is not a human. There will be a computer. You will just give them
Yeah.
symptom, and then they will give you, because it's the same way that they are doing. Same thing applies here also in psychology also. Same thing goes to any field, like you
Field
just
out
think.
there.
So
Yeah.
just name it. Again, if you know your field very well, if you know that what is psychology, what are all these theory about, it's not just that learning and just memorizing the facts and just giving this going through by the theory or something. No, you need to use your brain. You need to go beyond this AI now, because AI will be working based on the algorithms, right?
Algorithm and
One,
data.
yes, and the one edge that humans have, that they can go beyond these algorithms. If And you can go beyond these algorithms when you understand all these algorithms, right? That what is
Yeah.
happening. When you know that what is this knowledge is all about, only then
Yeah.
you can beat that algorithm. So this time is, I mean, the time is very challenging, because it is not something you cannot be anyone. Like, you cannot be like there used to be time that you just take up any field, and then you start doing, and then you just having this kind of a mid-level mid-tier life. No, I think
Yeah.
you have to be best in your field now, because AI will be taking over all the mid-level job. You have to
Yeah.
be the best to control the AI, and it can
Yeah.
only happen when you love your job. Otherwise,
Yes.
no, I mean, if you hate something, you cannot be the best at it, right? Even if
Yes.
you if even if you become the best. For example, I know that there are many people, especially in terms of finance. Sorry if I'm offending anyone, but I know that people sometimes they don't like finance, but because it's too much work, it's too dry. People say that, but they're excelling in their job, they're earning good. But what happens is that deep down, they still feel kind of that emptiness, the
Yeah.
lack of fulfillment, and so they can survive in this era. But those people who feel so much pressure, and those who are not driven by the internal motivation, then it would be very difficult for them to survive in future, because all these, like the mid-level job will be actually taken over by AI.
Yeah, understandable. Thank you so much on that. And yet again, if you don't love what you do, it's going to be very difficult in the future. And I guess it's just a broad thing to say. I just want to put it out there. Like people, meaning of success it's different for everybody. Some people define it with money. Some people define it with the level of fulfillment that they feel. Some people define it by the lives they have impacted. So as young adults, it's also nice to think about these things, like what is my definition of success. And once you're clear about that, you'll be able to answer these questions that we are asking today much easier. Which brings me to the young adults yet again, Ms. Ambreen, and that is, if a teen is curious about people, emotion, and how the brain works, where could that curiosity take them in this field? Particularly these things in, curiosity about people, curiosity about emotion, and curiosity about how the brain is working, branch it out in different fields, but these pointing three different things.
So if, sorry, your question is like when they are interested in this, then where they can get, yeah.
Suppose a teenager is curious about people, emotion, and how the brain works. So where could that curiosity take them in this particular field, psychology?
Yeah, I mean, this is very, very important. I think first of all, the most important thing is that curiosity. One should always be curious about themselves, about others, in a positive way. It's not about like to always find out what the other people are doing. No, just find out that what's happening around you, why it's happening. And if you are actually really curious about all these things, about emotions and something, it's all about then your own journey. You will succeed, you will find out, because you know what, in business or in even employment, again, I would say that the human interacts with always humans, right? Mostly. So far, up till now, this is the case. I don't know what about in the future, that we'll be interacting more or not. But again, we are humans. Humans are meant to be social, and they need other human to live happily. If you are curious about understanding yourself, about emotions, about others, then it's a very good thing. It is that means it is building your emotional intelligence. And if you look at this emotional intelligence, this is the top, like, number one trait any employer look for in their candidates, like, because no matter what, skills can be learned, right? Whatever you want to know, whatever the requirements are for the job can be learned. But if you are a good team player, if you know how to deal with other people, if you can manage your own emotions, if you know how to do it, if you have the good emotional intelligence, only then it will take you to another level. No matter how intelligent you are, if you are not able to actually live with other people, or respect other people, or uh, you cannot work with other people, you cannot work in a team, then I would say that you will never be successful, because it is all about working with the people. All the companies are like, wherever you apply, they will actually see that are you really good at emotional intelligence or not. So if anyone is curious in these three fields, then definitely it's good for them. No matter whatever the field they are in, they could be the mathematicians, they could be engineers, or whatever it is. At the end of the day, they need to work with people. And if you're curious in that, and if you know how to do it, I'm sure you're going to be successful.
Perfect. That sums it up really well. As we have said, be curious, and yes, it invites creativity as well. Again, being with people is one of the things that is important. I also want to take this opportunity and put it out there for the people who are tuning in at the moment. If you feel that you don't possess these qualities yet, this time, there's always time to learn about these things. There's always time. So there's no need to be disheartened about the things that have been discussed here. It's a path. for you to take in that direction. And that's what this is. This is a very positive zone, and what we are trying to do here is to give you that direction by yourself. Which brings me to my next question: the possibilities, because there are multiple possibilities out there. So, what one exciting trend or possible future possibility in psychology that most people our age or of our day and time haven't even heard about? What kind of possibility is there for psychology?
For psychology, it's actually, I would just say that this possibilities are endless, but I think this is the field that I would encourage, that at least if they don't want to pursue it as a, like, main
Okay.
field, or main, they're like a field, but then they should at least learn about psychology, because nowadays it's it's kind of another pandemic that is happening, that everybody is kind of feeling more alone. Like, this technology has brought us together. We are connected now, like, we are connected from the different part of the world. Like, everything is on our fingertips. But again, we are losing that human connection, because we are
Very
so
true.
much, go to the restaurant, you see that everyone has this mobile phone. They're deeply in, engrossed in their mobiles, and they don't know what's happening around them. So no matter what, they are we are connected globally, but we are very much disconnected with our own loved ones. And that
Yeah.
is creating so much um, loneliness, depression, and this is across the globe. It's not restricted to any kind of like geophysical or
True.
geography,
Yeah.
yeah, any country or something. But this is something is happening. So if people know, like, if you people understand that how mind works, how their emotions work, and how they need to stop, themselves from technology, why there is importance of connecting with another human being. It's very important. There's another very bad trend these days, which I actually see on social media, that, like, calling every other person a toxic person and leaving them on this and this. This is a toxic culture, then leave. I mean, there is so much advice going on, which I really want to tell people, that before calling out anyone toxic, before calling any culture toxic, please evaluate yourself also, because everyone
Yeah.
has their own uh, way of doing it. They not necessarily that everyone really want to harm you, but there are certain ways you need to figure out that's how it is going to be. So this is very, very important, that everyone should have at least some knowledge of psychology, and they should pursue on it. And there are, especially as I said, that now it's technology and AI is taking over lots of things and lots of field. So I think the opportunity, especially in this field, will arise, and you will see more opportunity for psychologists and mental health activists to work with people, because there will always be a need for human to give some support to another human. So I think this is very much possible nowadays. There's so much opportunities in this field.
Thank you so much. And yes, that sums it up very, very profoundly. As you said, even if you are not, if you have interest in other fields, psychology is one thing to at least research and study about for a while, so that you have that basic understanding, and there's no harm in learning. So we would definitely recommend, as Ms. Amina said. I would be very, I'm very pleased to say that I was very intrigued by psychology. So I tried psychotherapy.
Wow.
In spite of being in media, I study psychotherapy, and I'm certified by it, but I don't practice it much unless in my personal life. So yeah, it always helps. I belong to a media industry, but doing that really helped me in my industry. So there is another example that goes on, that whatever industry you are studying psychology, and the fields related to it is definitely going to help. With bring me to the help that it brings. It also brings tough choices and tough moments of life, which brings me to my second segment, and that is the tough side. What about which is not that glamorous? So we are going to talk about the challenges, efforts, sacrifices, emotional toll that the field takes on. So my first question goes out like this. What have been one of the most toughest moments in your journey that really tested your commitment to this field?
Um, Lots of actually. It is hard to
Okay.
figure out how to single out that. I would just say that especially in this field, like I'm a marketing research consultant and I do provide a lot of researches, but my passion is mental health, like helping people to live their lives better, and that is my passion to helping. It's not like providing a therapy or something, but it's helping them. It's like giving them some advice, and that's why I write my like I write blogs, or that's why I do my podcast and something. So I would just say that, okay, when I moved to Saudi Arabia, right? So I
Yeah.
was enjoying my career as a as a research manager, marketing research manager at like very renowned company. And when I moved here, when I changed the country, it was quite a big blow to me. And I was like, okay, what should I do? Should I actually
Mhm.
now do a job? Because I had a family as well. I mean, my kids were young at that time, and I didn't want to actually leave them at home without any assistance or something. So that was very tough moment for me, that what should I do at that time? And my passion is also there. Then I wanted to do my, I wanted to pursue my career as well. And then there was like a family as well. So what happens is that I would just say that these kind of things happen. Sometimes you get the challenge, then it's always best to take some rest, take a break. It's there is no harm in that, doing that. So I took a break at that time. I did not do any, like I was getting, despite I was getting a lot of offers from different companies, I took a break, and then I started my freelance journey, and then I started writing my articles, and then I do whatever, like now, especially on social media, whatever I'm doing. So that is one thing I would just say, that whatever challenges, there will always be challenges, and the challenges that you will not have faced, or anyone else has not might not have faced it, but you need to decide what suits you. There will always be advice from different people, but
Mhm.
they will give advice based on their experience, based on their ambition, based on their capabilities, and
And
based on
perceptions as
their,
well.
exactly, based on their perception about you as well,
Mhm.
based on their insecurities as well.
Yeah.
uh, so but you are the one, you know yourself, that what you need to do. So very important that you need to connect with yourself, especially when you're going through in these kind of challenges, and
Yeah.
decide what your heart tells you to. Because I tell you one more example, that when I wanted to write a book long time back, but I was so young, and everybody in my, again, whoever was in my company, they said that they did not like the idea of me writing a book. And I was so passionate about it, and I want to write a book, but I was quite discouraged. But at that point in time, again, I just delayed my that goal, and I said, okay, I will do it, but later on, not right now. So that's, again, I would just say that there are so many challenges, there are so many times that you will be tested, but you need to not lose your sight from your goal. You may take a break, you may just go in and see that what works for you. Listen to the people, but not always follow what they are saying, because as I said, that everything is based on their perception, their experience, their insecurities. They might be saying, don't do that, don't go that for that. But if you know that, yes, your heart is saying you are passionate about it, then go for it.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And yes, taking a break, take a deep breath, take a break, keep it simple. These are the things that we go for. And I'm so glad that you did take a break and then move on to the freelance journey that you have. And again, the turning points come along with that exertion and those tough choices. But with that, helping other people, as you have mentioned earlier in your answer, sometimes we think helping people is always rewarding. There's a
Mm.
common perception that helping other person is very rewarding, is
Yeah.
self-fulfilling. But does it ever get overwhelming or emotionally heavy? Because it comes with a certain level of responsibility and a bit of heaviness. So how do you deal with that, and how the young adults who are going to take into this field your advice for them to deal with it?
Yeah, this is again very good question. Uh, First of all, yes, it does help when you help other. It's there's also a science behind it, and they say like there's a kind of a warm glow, and it's like if that means when you help others, you feel that your soul shines, and that
Yeah,
glows actually help you feel more fulfilled and satisfied, and that feeling is amazing. That whenever you help someone genuinely, not expecting any reward or something, but this is again very exhausting experience because
yeah,
takers do not have any limit. So yes, you're helping people, and the people are actually really feel good about it. You feel good, but then you can't give. You can't keep giving up. You keep giving to other people, right? So you need to fill your cup first. That's why it's important to set boundaries, set
yeah,
healthy boundaries. It comes with self-awareness that why you are doing this, what you can do, and where you need to put the boundary, right? Where you need to say no to other people. And it can be done in a very respectful kind way. It doesn't have to be loud, it doesn't have to be disrespectful. Some people keep just asking for your time, some people keep asking maybe for the money, or keep asking for your efforts, right? All the
yeah,
time. They will be always, when you just say that, okay, no, I think this is not my priority. This is not, I'm not available for that. You don't have to feel obliged or that you need to give reason to them. You just be satisfied with yourself. You know yourself that, okay, this is what I can do. Maybe you can go to, let's say, 3 parties in a week, for example. And then like people are just asking, like, no, please, you need to join and something. And you said, no, I am done with this. I need my work. I need my time. And that's it. You don't need to give excuses. You don't need to give explanation to them.
yeah.
Set your bound, but that again comes with self-awareness. You need to know that where your boundaries start, and then you need to
I guess.
again know that how to say no to other people.
Yes, I guess good choices are a result of good experiences, and good experiences are a result of bad experiences.
Yes.
So, if you're having a bad experience, don't be sad about it. It's going to take you towards something good, and then a good choice. So, in order to set boundaries, you understand. Some people learn it a very hard way. That what are my boundaries? I have been there,
Yeah.
and but it's been a journey, amazingly profound journey. So, with that hard choices, which brings me to a hard way of learning things. So tell us something that you learned the hard way in this career that no course or no book have taught you. Something you learned on the field in the game.
Yes, actually, so many lessons, but I would just say that again, actually a planning freak, kind of. I used to be. I would just say because I want to have everything, planned perfectly. I used to be like that. So even when you can just say that I was kind of so planning freak in that way that, like when I had this ambition to write a book, so I planned my life like for 20 years from that now that, I will do this, and I will publish the book right after 20 years. And that's what I did when I actually published the book. So everything kind of was planned. But on that journey, of course, when we need to figure out that what we are doing, and it's kind of a writing a book was also a kind of a self-awareness journey as well.
Yeah,
And then I realized that planning is good, but sometimes we need to go with the flow as well because it all linked with kind of again a control, an urge to have a control on everything. And that again, when you have that kind of urge to control everything, that could link to your past insecurities that, why maybe there is a fear of failure. That's why you want to be controlled, right? But
yeah,
this is something that, I learned the hard way, that sometimes when things are not happening as you planned, we don't need to feel the frustration. We don't need to feel that that anxiety or that level of of feeling that what is going on. It is all about maintaining a calm in the chaos. And I think that is something that is the biggest strength. I would say that that is one superpower we develop, that when we learn how to remain calm in the chaos, in the chaotic chaotic times, or
Environment. Yeah.
yeah, because uh, things when you plan, that means that you're in control. But when things don't go according to your plan, you get panic. Okay, what's happening, what to do? That moment you need to realize that the only thing you can control is yourself, your thoughts, not the other circumstances, not anyone. And when things are not going as per your plan, that means maybe God is creating something, some path for you, some redirection that may lead to
Mm.
some better destination. So that is one thing that I would just like to say everyone, that
That
just
no book
stay
of course
calm.
teaches
Yes,
us is
yes,
to stay calm. And I
yes,
guess
yeah.
there's a saying in Persian language, I'll just translate it in English, that what you have thought, if it happens, good. If it doesn't happen, even better.
Mm.
So, my fourth question is, what do you feel like people out there from different fields in today's world, in which having so much information, talking about different psychological, spiritual things that is also related to psychology, having a blast of information in their head, in front of their eyes, in their hands all the time, 24 hours. Do they actually misunderstand psychologists and misunderstand what they actually do? And how do you deal with that if they misunderstand
Misunderstand what?
what
Sorry.
the psychology is about, what they actually
Oh,
do, if they misunderstand the field
yeah.
altogether?
The thing is, I would just say that there is now knowledge is not finding a knowledge is not a problem at all. Everything is on the
Yeah,
fingertip, right?
yeah,
And I would just say that again, not only for psychology, for any field, it's
yeah,
all about like people read 100 books and they literally they don't know anything about it.
yeah,
What happens is that is if you just read for the sake of reading, I mean, it's good, reading is really good, but take some like knowledge that is applicable to your life, right? Make a connection. It's not just like read book like for the sake of saying, oh, I read 100 books and something, and then okay, you may forget on everything. It's like giving attention without retention. Like, you do give attention to lots of things, but you don't retain anything. And that is what
yeah,
exactly is happening, because getting in our times when we were uh, like when we were studying, when we didn't have all these like knowledge readily available. We have to store it in our mind that okay, what we've studied in psychology, what Freud said, what Gestalt said, what other
yeah.
like psychologists said. Similarly, like if we were studying physics, so we needed to know that what Einstein said, what like all
Said,
these
yeah, yeah,
physicists said. Nowadays none of this is required, because they don't have to remember each and everything, but they need to understand. They need to understand what they say. They might not need the complete formula of what Einstein has given
yeah,
to, let's say, discover the gravitational pull between these stars or something. But they need to know the concept between that, because if they don't know the concept, then it will create a problem. Then it will always create like misconceptions, and it will always mislead them. So one
totally.
way of doing that is whatever you study, have something in your mind that why you are studying and what you want to take out from this. That's it.
And just to put a brief onto the question is like if you're clear about your own thing, you'll be able to make the people who are misunderstanding it even clear. As there's a saying that goes by, if you can't explain it simply, you don't know it
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
So that is one thing to aim for, which is also going to from your answer. I just got this idea that maybe because of the information overflow, The generation today should aim for wisdom rather than information, because that's where we are missing, because understanding the concepts and all. Which brings me to the people who are going to pursue this field of, and take help from this podcast. For somebody starting out, what's one common mistake that they should try avoiding early on? What is that one common mistake in the profession that if somebody is starting out, they can avoid by your advice?
It's like if somebody is starting a career, especially early, and that's the one thing they should do is be patient. Lot of, especially nowadays, this is
Yes.
something they need rewards so quickly. They get
Yeah.
frustrated so quickly that not everything happens like that. They need to learn, they need to do it again and again, and sometimes they need to do some very repetitive tasks. That's it. That's perfectly fine. That's the grind that they need to go through it.
That's
Yeah.
perfectly summed up. It cannot get any better.
Yes.
I remember being really, really frustrated and very anxious about why things are not working. And I met a person in my life there, and the first thing that person told me is like, patience is virtue.
Yes.
And it sure is. It sure is. So
Absolutely.
things, let things come to you rather than you coming to going to the things
Yes.
and chasing them. People end up chasing their own tail sometimes.
Yeah.
Lastly, I just put. Thank you so much. Brings us to the end of our second segment. And thank you so much for such profound answers, because I'm taking my notes here, which is going to help me in my further podcast, which we are going to do for Career 101. Thank you so much, Ms. Amreen.
Yeah.
I could not ask for a better first guest for this podcast. And with that, let's move on to this could be your path. That's the name of the segment. And here we are going to talk about the self discovery, traits, mindsets, and alignment that is needed. But it could be a yes or no answer, a very brief answer, as we are short on time as well. So I'm just going to ask you, if someone listens, always listens, and finds themselves helping friends or wondering why do people do what they do, could this be a sign that this is the right field for them and right fit for them?
If they're always wondering, or sorry,
If
what?
they're helping their friends, their people around them, and also wondering like why do people do what they do? Most of us, when we see something, someone being rude, so we just
Yeah.
call them rude. And some of us thinks that why is this person being rude? Is there
Yeah.
something underneath that? So if somebody thinks like that, is this a sign of pursuing this field?
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. If we were and you're trying to understand more about the other people's perceptions and something, so yes, definitely that's a sign. Yeah.
So that goes out there for you guys. Yes, if you see a reaction from somebody, and if you try to look underneath it,
Yeah.
be it your friend, be it your family, be it a random guy, that is definitely a sign to at least research on these field and think about it. The next one is, what kind of mindset or attitude do you think helps someone not just survive but thrive in psychology?
I would just say that it's again in terms of psychology or in terms of actually
Ju-
any field. I would just say just
In terms of psychology, yeah, because
okay,
as a professional expert on the field,
okay,
I'm particularly asking about psychology.
okay. So in the term of in the field of psychology, I would just say because there will be a lot of time um, you might have to think from others perspective, and then especially like I'm doing like a lot of consumer researches and consumer psychology, and sometimes we get the result which is quite mind-blowing. It's like, oh, what is this? This is completely new to us. And then how this now the trends are changing, people are different this is a new different way of thinking of, right? So
Mhm.
one needs to be open to see seeing things, and not
Okay.
sometimes you need to unlearn also the way
Yeah.
you used to do it, right? So that's something very important, especially in this field, that you need to understand that, okay, if someone is saying something, because sometimes you might get offended, sometimes your insecurities can trigger, sometimes you say, oh, no, no, this is not right. Don't ignore this because every insight can lead to some more profound discovery, that okay, this is something, and then it could lead to aha moment. So one needs to be very open to whatever is coming up, whatever the other person is saying.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And yeah, I guess sum it up. If you're open to change, and if you're open to adaptability, if you're open to look within and without. Furthermore, I guess these are the signs, and these are the kind of mindset or attributes which who can take you to this field, and might you might find your interest in it. Is there a way for a teenager, a young adult, to take a test drive? Let me recall this: a test drive to this field now through books, podcasts, small experiences. And if there is something, please expand on that. What kind of experience and what kind of practices they can do just in order to have a 3 months, 6 months test drive of how psychology is for them and how much actually excited they are in practical life about it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is a very important that they should start exploring more about it. Like you said, there are podcasts, there are lots of information available on psychology. They need to find out. There are lots of, again, like there are lots of tests available. Like then they need to, they can explore their personality. That how what is their personality? They are
Mhm.
where do they fall? How they can react, and then like when they get all these knowledge, then they know that how they can do it further. And whatever they learn, this is the main advantage of this field, is that they can apply directly to it, because as I said, that it's every, like we are interacting with other humans. So even if,
Yeah,
let's say, if you see that your mom is angry, and you know that how other people behave in anger, and then you know that how to react in that situation, you read in the book, but you can apply right there in the family. You
yeah,
can work with your mom, and you can just see, you can work with your siblings. If your sister is mad at you, and then you said how you can respond to them, and then you see that how good you are in applying these knowledge. And the main benefit of this field is that you can read the book and apply right next to the next moment,
yeah.
and you can do that.
Any starter book that you would like to recommend if somebody is watching this podcast and would like to, tap into that?
That's a good question, actually. The main problem is that I don't have any introductory or basic book with me, and that's what the problem with it. Because I also always, when I discuss with my kids,
Mhm.
I discuss very high level of psychology.
I
So
understand. I understand.
I don't know, to be honest,
I
but they
would
can find out
like to
more.
take your guidance on this. How about the power of now? Is that
Oh,
something to tap
this
on?
this is
What do you think
Power
about
of
that?
Now is this Eckhart Tolle, right? This
Yeah, yeah,
is one of my favorite, but it's more on the spiritual side rather than psychology.
yes,
So I love
yeah.
that book personally. I really, but
But
if you
just
are
to
on this,
start it off,
that
yeah,
will take you to the spiritual side. This is not a
okay.
psychology, so I
Not
wouldn't
to tap on
recommend.
that, guys.
Yeah, and if you want to
Perfect.
understand
Uh,
psychology, then I have no idea. Sorry to say.
Okay, perfect. But with that, as you said, to apply directly, you can apply directly to people because there are people around there when they're behaving humans, and you can definitely apply that. One thing that,
Yeah, sorry,
and
one
correct
thing I
me,
think I remember. Sorry, I think the
please
power of
do.
subconscious mind is also a very good book.
Yes,
Yes,
okay.
I
That's
remember that.
something I was trying.
But
Power of
I don't know that this
subconscious
is
mind.
for the introductory level or not. But
Mhm.
it's again,
As if
it's a good book.
we have AI people who are watching right now, you can get the synopsis and what the book is teaching. You can get the pointers. You don't have to read the book
Yeah,
per se, but try to get the idea of the concept. One thing I wanted to, and I want you to correct me on this. While applying it, I consider it to be very important that having empathy is one of the best ways to go by applying your understanding of psychology to people. How do you think about that?
yeah, yeah. Empathy is very important. But again, empathy is which would link to your question that you said that we need to set boundaries, right? Because when you
Yeah,
feel others, being an empath, I've learned this hard way that you feel others' emotions. Sometimes you feel others' emotions more than they do, and there is
yeah,
a science behind that, because how our brain chemistry by brain physiology is changed. Because I'm very much nowadays interested in neurosciences. So there's like the
neuroscience.
mirror. We have this those who are empath. They're more their mirror neurons are very active in their brain, and that's
Yeah.
how they can actually uh, get other people's emotions very quickly, because they can
Yes.
feel it. But
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so the thing is that when you feel it, it's okay, but don't feel the need to correct them, because sometimes people don't
Yes.
like it as well. So you need to
Yes.
be very, very careful, strategic.
Yeah.
If you are practicing empathy, it's
Yeah.
very good,
Very
but
much.
you need to maintain a distance as well.
Yes, I have set up the boundary, and yes, you are trying things out for yourself. You're not anybody's savior, so don't act like one. That is one thing which is
Yeah,
very important. Nobody likes a savior who comes out of the blue.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
with that, I'll ask you a one-word question or one-sentence question. That is, what's one personal trait that helped you the most in becoming who you are today? One personal trait.
Don't attach yourself to, especially to the outcomes that you want, right? This is something, it's very important. Learn it as a journey, because sometimes um, I had as I told you, like I kind of planned my life for 20 years or like even
Yeah,
something more. So I know that I pursuing a goal at that time for such long time. Having that goal and be consistent is really difficult. But then it's very important to not attach to the outcome of the goal. You rather focus on becoming of, you know, during that journey. Like you learn lots of things when you go through that journey, and that is more important than just achieving that goal itself. It is very important to achieve that goal, but that satisfaction, it's kind of very short-lived when you actually achieve.
yeah,
For example, if you want to know that, oh, you want to achieve a title, you want to achieve an award, once you achieve it, it would maybe you go on the stage, you receive the trophy, and that's it, it goes away. But
yeah.
during the process, what you have become is more important. So I think that's one trait
Yes.
I would say: don't attach yourself to the outcome.
And don't attach yourself to the outcome, and in other words, enjoy the journey, and that's
Yeah.
the flip side of it. Perfectly answered. Thank you so much. Along with that, what do you think someone needs? Do you think somebody needs to be super confident, outgoing to succeed in this profession, or a quiet thinker, an introvert, or an ambivert can also make an impact?
Introversion is not linked with success or anything. To be honest,
Mhm.
I'm a very, very super introvert person. And
Okay.
people actually now hard to believe that it's the thing is that it doesn't have to be these are just the kind of I would say that these are just the trait, but what you
Yeah.
make out of it, it depends on what your goal is, what your ambition is, and that's how you go about it. And confidence, you talk about, the confidence doesn't come with, you know, by pursuing anything. It comes with by taking action. The more
Yeah.
you take action, the more you learn, and then you get it. So whether you are an introvert, whether you are extrovert, you can be a confident person. So it's just again, I would just say that everything comes back to the self-awareness, that what you want, how, why do you want, what are your goals, and when you know that why you're doing it, it will actually keep your motivation, you know, going. It will give you, it will discipline you to follow your goals.
Perfect. As I said, yes, these are personality traits, nonetheless, and one can definitely pursue different professions while having these traits. So, which brings us to the fourth segment, a very, very materialistic segment, Ms. Amreen. And I had to put it there because, yes, it is a matter of understanding, for a matter of concern for many parents and the kids as well.
Mhm.
We are going to talk about the society values, visibility, rewards, and financial growth. So very quickly, a lot of team wonders, will this field help me earn well? What's your honest take on that long term?
It's it depends that how much you want to earn and how do you want to earn. Um,
Mhm.
if you want to earn, definitely there is always possibility. There's lots of opportunity here in this field. Like, you know, when you do the psychology, you can go to the different organization, corporate companies. You can go like, you know, to help them design marketing strategy. You can work for them human resources. There are lots of training, like, and coaching people are there. There are lots of companies who are providing like training and coaching. There are lots of there are lots and lots of opportunities if they want to pursue the career in psychology. Even if you want to take the clinical side, you can go to any different, like, universities. You can go to these hospitals. You can even go to the different, like, there are people, like, as a counselor, they work for these companies as well. So, there are lots of opportunities. How There are always ways, but you need to be clear what do you want to do it, right? And then you
Yeah.
keep trying to figure it out. That's that's something, is that, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Keep trying to find out ways, and you will find opportunities. That's it.
Perfect. Perfect. So yes, if you're aiming for something in terms of finances or in terms of a certain kind of lifestyle, and if you choose this field, the answer probably is like that. Go in that direction with a good intention, confidence in your mind, and obviously have a grasp of your subject in which you're working, and definitely you're going to reach there. And again, something very materialistic, a very material question, but that is also a point of concern for a lot of people, so that I put it there. How can someone in psychology create real change? By real change, I mean in even in small community at global level. Definitely no, but would like it or like the answer for it. Your like I would like your answer for the community who is just starting out and trying to understand it. Define a real change that has been made because of the field and because of profession in the field in small communities and in global level as well.
Yeah, it's all about having a good intentions and know that what exactly you want to give. For example, even here, I've created lots of communities. Even on my social media, I gather all these, like, thought leaders or something. So it's always, you know, have this. First of all, you need to have good intentions. You get what you give. So if you have the good intentions of give, for example, how much give, and then universe will give you back. It's like, what goes around comes back to you.
Comes back.
So yeah, so that's something. Again, I would say that even if you want to make a change, again, first of all, bring a change in yourself,
Yeah.
give, and then don't expect at that moment that what you want to give. It could be anything. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to, go for the big title, big, this things that, you will be in the blind light. Or when I started my social media journey, to be honest, I never had this in mind, that, I could actually gain so many followers, or I could
Yeah.
gain so many things.
Yeah.
I just started sharing my content because I wanted to share it. I wanted to help people, and that's it. And like, then I found out that, okay, people are liking my whatever I share. So that's you. If you have a good intentions, then you will get what you want to create the change.
Perfect. That brings us to 2 points that I have just wrote it written here. It's like there's a song, a carol actually, that goes around like I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. So I guess that's where a person can start, and definitely having good intentions. Uh, uh, I would like to bring something that I have experienced, like uh, doing something for the sake of doing it. You have to have a better intention behind it. Do it with a purpose, because fame, money, I think these are the byproducts of what you're trying to do. So they will definitely going to come along if you're enjoying the journey, as Ms. Ambreen has already said. Thank you so much on that. And what next question is, what are some exciting and unexpected ways that people are in your field are earning or getting recognition today? Some very unexpected and exciting things that you have seen in recent times being done by the professionals of psychology.
That they have earned something. Or
But yes, in the field of psychology, have you seen in the recent times any unexpected or very exciting ways of working, getting recognition, and also
yeah,
making a
these
buck?
absolutely, these motivational speakers. Nowadays they are on especially everyone is looking for some kind of motivation, and like, even companies are hiring those big. I would say all those big motivational speakers, they charge like millions of dollars for just 1 hour. So
Yeah.
So this is the new trend. I mean, not a very new trend, but at least you can say that this is kind of a reason that, people are
in
listening.
I guess in the last decade, so
Yeah,
it
it
can be
last
called
decade.
very
Yeah. Yeah. I
very
mean,
new. Yeah.
yeah.
Along with that, there are people who are offering team building and professional training sessions and
Yeah.
all these. These are also related to psychology. So yeah, that answers the question. And the last one for you, Ms. Amreen, is a very important question. If someone gives their all to this particular field for 5 to 10 years, what kind of impact, with all the right intention, soul, sweat, and long nights, what kind of impact can they expect to have on the world around them? And what they can aim for if they want to give it their blood and sweat for 5 to 10 years.
I mean, what I like about this field is that you can help another person to live a better life. And to me, it doesn't mean that I can uh, change lives of millions of people. It's
Mm.
just a matter of one person. If you are
Yeah,
happily and you have done successfully change one person's life, you can help that person to live a better life. I think that's an achievement. For me, it is. I don't know, it is. So I think you need to start small, and that is one thing I would just say. The one impact, if anybody would ask me that, if I'm able to help just one person, if I'm able to save life of one person, I think that's a big achievement for me.
perfect. So yes, if I guess aiming for the right thing and with clarity and ambition and also patience is definitely going to take you there. So yes, I hope this session have been very, very helpful for those who are excited about psychology, who think back of their mind sometimes about how things are working, how people think, and how this whole world came together the way it has been, even politically, economically, socially, in terms of technology. Yes, that too. So I guess I hope that help you. Along with that, Ms. Amreen, I'm so glad that we got to do it. All my questions are answered today, and I am going out of this podcast with so much of information and clarity when it comes to understanding. I wish I could have somebody like you back when I was trying to find my way in the field. I'm glad that
Thank you.
I hope that we get to help one person. Yeah, as you said, that's the goal. Ms. Amin, thank you so much for giving us your time. Any final remarks for the people who are going to watch this and who are watching it right now? Would love to hear your thoughts. And also, how was your experience with the Career 101? That's the first podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. First of all, it was a wonderful experience. I really enjoyed this discussion. Thank you for asking so many good questions. I hope that your audience actually learn a lot from this. And the one advice I would like to give is that believe in yourself. One thing that very, very important, that whatever it is, lots of people nowadays are kind of following others' advice, following their others' dreams just because they don't believe in themselves. They don't think that they can achieve what they dream of. So one thing is that whatever you have, whatever your dream is, first of all, think big. You can achieve whatever you want to. It's just a matter of you need to dream and then believe in yourself that you can achieve it. So that's one advice I would like to give.
Perfect. Thank you so much. We have Ms. Ambreen Nadeem with us on this very first session of Career 101 presented by Free E-Learning. I'm so glad that I have been the host for this particular session. And inshallah, we are going to bring more sessions like these, more professionals from different fields. And the aim is to open a gateway of understanding where most of young adults feel lost and open the boundaries that are not need to be there. So thank you so much for giving us this time, Ms. Amreen. I'm so glad. Please accept my gratitude, and I would like to thank you for giving us this opportunity. And we wish you a lot of success yet again in your so much established career, and may you go a long way ahead. And we are so glad that we get to have this time with you. Thank you for this. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.